Saturday, 27th of September, 2025 at 10:46 a.m. here in Snohomish, Washington, United States of America. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey. It is your Dev and Design podcast where two guys try to act as dignified as Mars is in Scorpio right now, but fail horribly. I am your designer, Jake. He is your engineer, Trey. Hello, Trey.
Hello, Jake.
Look at me bringing in some astrological weather into the introduction. It's almost like I'm acting like an astrologer.
Yeah, it's I love it. I'm here for it.
And I think the reason we can do that is because we have software that actually works and is close to being in your hands. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, about how close that is into your hands it shall be. Closer than you think, closer than we think as well.
Yeah. Into your digital hands.
Into your digital hands.
Yeah.
You shouldn't don't put the software in your actual hands.
I don't know how you would do that, but it's probably not safe.
No, it falls right through and then it gives you diseases. Digital diseases. Digital detritus. You know what?
Digititis.
Is digititis a thing? Let us know in the comments. This episode is called Totally Applying or App-lying because it's been so long since we've said that we're almost ready to go that we feel like we're lying now with all of this. So we, of course, will be talking a little bit about some of the small changes that we're making to make sure that the app does not break for you when we get it into your hands. We will talk a little bit about how we can get this software into your hands sooner rather than later, so stick around for that. And we'll talk a little bit about the future because why not? And we'll give thanks. But before we do all of that, Mr. Henry, of course, we have to start with your check-in question.
Yeah,
are you ready for it?
This week. Yes, I am ready for it. What is your favorite thing about AI?
My favorite thing about AI is now I can say to it, I need you to start doing the research first. And I need you to get me going on certain topics. So for example, I've been thinking a lot about chart quality because one of the things that we will be doing when we go into future versions of Cosmic is to have native details available for you. And therefore, we have to start thinking about things like Rodin ratings. We've talked about Rodin ratings before. Feel free to look in that episode up there. There is also this other rating system that's called the Traeger rating system. And it's, of course, much more structured because it's German and that's how it goes.
I haven't even looked at that one yet.
Right, neither had I. And so instead of me being like, I'm just going to go down a road where I'm going to do the research first, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to compile some of the research for me, give me the sources, summarize it for me, but then I'll go take a look at the sources later just in case it decided to hallucinate something about all of this. And
always a good plan.
Always a good plan. Watch out for the hallucinations, kids. But it's a nice way to start because then I can just have a document to read, think about it for a little bit, and then go into it. So when we start talking about chart quality or native birth time quality, those things will start to manifest in a much more meaningful way because we not just taking the default answer, which is Rodin ratings. We thought about Rodin ratings, we thought about Traeger ratings, and we figured out what would make the most sense for that.
But your answer is like the research.
The research thing. I think that's the thing. Yeah. Now, the thing that of course, gives me the most delight is creating pictures of ridiculous things. You may have seen that as part of our episode poster images that show up on YouTube. You may have also seen that in our socials because I have used those in our socials. Feel free to subscribe to all of these socials that are popping up on our screen right now. And yes, all of this here. And,
Jake is single-handedly destroying the ozone through his use of generative AI.
Hey, look, at this part, I'm just a soulless marketer. So I'm just going to lean into that. I'm leaning into my Mars era. I've got my Mars talisman on. I'm just leaning into it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
What about you? What's your favorite part of AI?
Yeah. So my favorite part of AI is actually kind of emerged for me over the last couple of weeks, which is that I realized that I have sometimes, particularly when it comes to toilet scrubbing kind of work that I'm not excited about, but that really needs to get done. So software engineering tasks that are really important, but they're not very fun or sexy. It's great for this because even if I'm not like using it to just solve that problem, because honestly, you can't, AI is not really at the point where you can just say like, okay, go take this thing and run with it and check in the code and I trust you to do that. Like, it's just not there. But what it does do for me is like break things down into bite-sized chunks or like take little pieces off of my plate and then I can just review what it did. And it makes it a lot easier for me with a like ADHD brain to like not just bounce off the wall of something that is like I don't want to do. It's like it kind of like gives me these little inroads. So it's weirdly this kind of like assistive technology for like a neurodivergent brain trying to deal with like problems that you don't want to deal with. So that's my new favorite thing about AI.
I think you and I had the same answer. It's just that your answer was around code and my answer was around research, because the reason that I use it for this type of research is because I don't either know or I can't go and make an inroad in something. Like it feels like a toilet scrubbing thing to me.
Right.
And therefore I'm like, give me something to start with, and then it inspires me to move forward in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know if this means that I have now I can declare myself neurodivergent without a medical diagnosis.
I mean, everybody else does.
Everybody else does. We were watching a video. This is just a side note. And, for this one, I'm going to have to go to me solo. We were watching a video about the Netherlands and what the Netherlands mindset is versus the American mindset, because Trey and I, you might know, used to live in Europe. We are going to go back to Europe. We're very excited about that. And as part of that, that video, out of nowhere, this person was just like, oh, and by the way, I'm autistic and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, we were talking about the American mindset and you were talking about the Netherlands mindset. And you were talking about these words that are like unique to the Netherlands mindset, and then all of a sudden we took a left turn into your autism.
It was surprisingly out of left field in this particular context.
It was surprisingly out of left field. And look, I know that not all disabilities are visible. I completely understand that. And to take somebody and say like, you don't meet my standard for what this disability is not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is we were on one track and then all of a sudden we just started talking about autism out of nowhere. And I was like, okay. That was a left turn that I did not know we were taking.
Yeah. Yeah. This is why I try to like talk about because I think we also, now we're diverging into like talks about.
I mean, we're talking about autism now too. This whole video has now taken a left turn into autism as well.
It's infectious.
Yeah, it's infectious.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we use some of these terms as kind of big, broad, heavy blankets that don't have a lot of air under them. We just say like, oh, autism or ADHD. And there are so many different presentations of these things. Even if you have a clinical diagnosis, there's like, that could mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. And so I try to talk about the like, okay, for me, I have a really hard time when there's something that I know that I need to do, but I don't really want to do it. There's like a really tough barrier there to get through.
Yeah.
And so, I could call that an aspect of ADHD, or I could just call that being like, having a hard time with like, whatever.
It could just be the human experience. And that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And like the human experience is about like neurotypicalness all the way to neurodivergence and how that expresses. We all have the struggle of not wanting to do a toilet scrubbing task, but how Trey would approach that versus I would approach it
are different.
Yeah. And also,
but AI does help like a lot with this stuff.
Exactly.
Like, it's really nice.
And just because AI is super helpful for folks that are neurodivergent around this stuff does not mean that those accessibility things that AI provides would not kind of drag even for the neurotypicals into better experience as well, right?
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. It's the ADA thing.
That's the great thing about accessibility, right? When you do accessibility, it usually works for everybody, even though it is kind of targeted towards a community. Yeah,
exactly.
Good times.
If you are a person that has neurodivergence, or you're a neurotypical person, AI can really help with like breaking problems down or just like getting over the hump.
And I don't know if Trey had mentioned this. I don't know why he's not mentioning this, I should say. There was a fantastic thought piece that he read to me today from the Costco Connections catalog about how AI can help you today. And if we have a digital version of the Costco Connections article, it is either It is either linked in the show description below, or we're putting it on the screen now. Copyright be damned, because this piece was something.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was written by AI. I thought the perfect lead for it would have been like, you don't have to be afraid of AI. In fact, AI even wrote this article.
Yeah, you're reading AI garbage now, even though it's in print in a Costco catalog. All right, let's talk a little bit about the cycle. For the most part, what we're trying to do is get things buttoned up for you so that things look good. But for the most part, like, it's all kind of underneath the covers. Do you want to talk a little bit about what happened this cycle?
I mean, the big thing that happened this cycle is that we got builds on every platform that we're targeting for our pre-release.
Right. So our preview release is going to be on.
We'll have Mac, ARM, and Intel. We'll have Windows, which will basically run on 10 or later. And then we will have a Linux app image. We might require people to reach out for the app image because it's not actually Cosmic that's the problem. There is issues with Electron on Linux. Yeah.
There's just some things we have to disclose to you if you want to do that. We'll talk about that later. Let's take a look at what you did. All right. There's a lot of app icons here because Trey's hiding the infinite
the infinite recursion of the video.
Recursion that's happening.
Because I'm sharing my whole desktop so you can see everything.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's no like untoward apps in here.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Anyway,
hey,
so
tell us what your favorite weird porno app Trey has over here. Right in the comments below.
Yeah, so you can see that there is a Cosmic in here. Even though the Electron icon does kind of fit for Cosmic, that is not obviously
we'll fix
our app icon. But I'm going to double click on this and whoa! I have already gone through the first run experience. As you can see, like if I switch applications, it's an app.
It's an app.
It's an app.
It's a real app.
It's a real boy. It's a real boy. This basically, it's all the stuff that we've been showing, but it's actually running in an app on your system. We didn't have this in the product last cycle, even though last cycle is when I did the bulk of the work on it, but I finished it this cycle. And it's not done yet because there's some work that Jake needs to do on the design of this because there's some weird interaction points. But it is really cool to look at, which is, so I'm looking at my birth chart here. And you can see that there's an edit perspective button here.
Nice.
If I click on the edit perspective button, we now go to perspective details. And so, for example, I picked the Hellenistic perspective when I was going through the first run experience. And so I can come in here and I can say, I'm going to call this traditional. And I'm going to keep whole sign. I'm actually going to add the outer planets because I like them. And I'm just going to keep the lots. And I'm going to call this like trad plus outers. And we have a brief description and a full description so that you
remember what you're doing.
You remember what you're doing. In aspects, these are the current aspects that we support. We've already talked about this a little bit. You can also select whether or not you want to calculate orb by planetary orbs or by aspect orbs. And then you can decide whether or not you want to require aspects to be in sign. And then you can specify orbs. So, in the case of planetary orbs, it'll be, planetary orb values. In the case of aspect orbs, it'll be based on aspect. I can save this. That takes me back to the chart. You'll see that the outers are there. Now I will show a little bit more on that in just a second. But I can also set this as the default, which means that now anytime I cast a new moment, then you will see that if I come in here, that it's the traditional trad plus outers perspective.
Hey, we respect the word default. How nice.
Isn't that great? There are some like weirdnesses, like I said, that we are going to fix before we put this into your hands. So now you can edit the perspective. Yeah, so that's, I think, all that we wanted to demo there.
That's what you're feeling? You're feeling your oats there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And like we had said to y'all, if you are interested in getting this before we fix our fit and finish bugs here, like if you wanted it today, I'm just gonna put it out there. You want it today, wow. You write us, why not? Write us at hello@cosmic.plumbing. The email address is right down here. Take a look at it. Or, of course, hit us up on our socials. They popped up everywhere.
Who's our viewer that did the in move in, move out?
CJ Record.
CJ Record. You could reach out to us.
Mr. Record.
You might get a freebie.
I mean, here you are. You are watching this. You seem to be the superest of the super fans. We're here for it. So we don't want to ruin that relationship. You let us know. We'll get you the software. And then you can and what we just ask in exchange is if there's things that you don't like about it, just let us know and we'll fix them. Remember, you told us in the video when you were looking at stuff how much things that you didn't like.
Yeah.
And we fixed them for you.
Yeah.
We want to build something that works for you.
Yeah. And then, or if you want to just go on YouTube and do a reaction video of how much you hate the software.
Oh yeah, trash us.
Any press is good press.
Exactly. If you trash us in your reaction video, feel free to put that below. We would we would love to see it. Comment below about how you're trashing us in your reaction video. The only other thing that we wanted to talk about was a little bit about the future, because Mr. Henry and I have discussed that we were interested in thinking about electional astrology. And when you think about electional astrology, what you're trying to do there is find the perfect date and time to do your event. And so that means that things today that are more geared towards natal astrology or event astrology would need to be a little bit more flexible in thinking about how we would assist someone to find that moment. And again, what we're trying to do is be as digital focused and digital forward as possible on this stuff. I'm going to start showing you some OOUX. You are not required by any means to understand what is, I don't think you understand half of what I'm talking about anyways when I talk about design, but here we go. So the way that we think about the way in which the objects are embedded within the application is that we have this idea of placements. So there's either planets, they've got zodiacal longitude, latitude, things like that. They are embedded in moments, which you might call rings. We might call those rings as well. Mm-hmm. Those are embedded in a thing that we call a moment collection, which typically we use the word chart for all of that stuff. So chart.
See prior episode about us talking about the difference between words that describe how something shows up, like chart and ring,
yes,
and the words that we use to describe the thing that's being displayed.
Now, Mr. Henry did make mention that he does remember what that past episode is. Do you think that I, Mr. Zukowski, can find that episode? Let us know in the comments if you think I could find it. I don't think I can, but you know what? I'm here for the challenge. I'm glad that Mr. Henry was just like, oh, check out this prior episode. I'm like, what was that? 47, 22?
It's your job to go back and find that. Go back and find that episode where we talk about that.
Wouldn't this be a great thing for AI to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? But we don't have that because I don't have all the transcripts. Don't worry about it. But if I did find it, that episode is up there somewhere. So this is what we call M1, milestone 1, which is what's called our preview release. This is how it goes down. A chart, which is called a moment collection, has moments, which are rings, that have placements, which are planets or points, things like that. And then there's this idea of a perspective, and we've talked ad nauseum about what a perspective is all about. So when we're thinking about this for M2, which is what we are hoping, we're going to do releases between the electional and other things. So as we find bugs, we'll fix those bugs. But this will be the next big milestone. Instead of just having moments, which really work for one specific moment in time, an event chart, a birth chart, we will have what's called moment ranges. This will be a way in which we can help someone narrow down what a ideal time could be for their election thing, whether that is signing business documents, getting married, doing a podcast. You think that we would elect for this podcast. We don't elect for this podcast yet because we don't do this yet. But once we do this, maybe we'll elect for it. We should have a much better Mercury. I think it would make a more entertaining product for you all. So once you then see this, they'll have moment collections with moment ranges, with moments, with placements. And you're like, look, Jake, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Just all you got to know, we got you covered. It's going to be great. You're going to love it.
Yeah. This is something we've been trying to figure out what exactly this is. And we went into town yesterday to visiting
out
some
with a friend?
friends. It's a pretty long drive. It's about an hour drive into Seattle from up here.
Yeah.
And during the drive, we chatted about all of this. Here's an election. It starts here, it ends here, and maybe it has a climax point here.
Yeah.
For example.
We have talked about this before, and I will mention it again. If you are an electional astrologer, or you even are saying like, I'm not a really good astrologer, whatever, you're better than what you're giving yourself credit for.
Yeah,
Let us
for
know if you are interested in being part of a study, paid study, to help us to define electional astrology and cosmic. Again, feel free to write us hello@cosmic.plumbing. We would be glad to have you as part of the study. Just know that it's not difficult. It's actually kind of fun, because all we're asking is for you to do your work and just reveal to us how you do your work. Because when we learn how your work is done today, we can start adapting to that and start making improvements to the software to make your work even better, more fun, more meaningful,
more streamlined.
But we need to hear from you in order for that to make it work.
Well, we don't need to, but we would really like to.
Hey, we don't need anything.
We're doing this. It's happening.
It's happening. It's on. Look, once you have this, how can you go wrong, right?
Ship it.
Ship it. Looks good to me.
Looks perfect.
That's great. But we would be excited to hear from you. So let us know. And actually, you know what? hello@cosmic.plumbing. Trey hates email. But if he got an email that he likes to read, maybe he would like email more.
Yeah, make me love email.
Make Trey love email. That's your job now. Mr. Henry, what should the good viewer do with their precious time other than write us and let us know that they would like to be paid to be part of a study about electional astrology?
Yeah, do that.
Just do that? Oh.
But you should make some popcorn. It's almost fall. It's kind of like
it is fall technically. It's Libra.
Yeah. We're in fall. So, make some popcorn and watch something fun.
The scales are balancing. Actually, I've been eating a little bit too much popcorn, so the scales have been balancing upwards for me as of late. Be well, take care, get some popcorn inside of that belly of yours. Have yourself a lovely day. Thank you for joining us. We love seeing you here every single week.
Yeah.
Have a lovely weekend or whatever day you watch this video, and we're going to see you again next week. Until then, be well, take care, and goodbye.
Bye.